before the court could consider the merits. Indeed, paragraph 21 stressed that there was such immense urgency that this might happen any day. And therefore, it is not surprising that when one seeks to invoke the jurisdiction of the highest judicial organ of the United Nations, indeed the highest judicial organ that all members of civilized nations turn to, that the President issued the letter on the 10th of May as he did, in the terms that he did. It was said in the application, furthermore, that the trial was rushed through and that Commander Jadhav could be executed summarily. The papers before the court within the application itself demonstrate at Annex 6 the detailed public statement made by the advisor to the Prime Minister on the 14th of April, His Excellency Sattar Aziz, that none of that is, with respect, true. There were 4 stages of the trial, 21st of September to the 12th of February 2017. The clemency process was identified clearly, the timeline, 90 days plus 60 days. What's also said to this court in the application, paragraph 9, is that the Pakistani authorities had made it clear that Commander Jadhav was not eligible for consular access, nor would he be granted consular access. The court was referred to Annex 7. Regrettably, Annex 7 says no such thing. What the applicant has sought to do is to introduce as Annex 11 an article from a newspaper, which, whatever else it may be, is not a newspaper of the record in Pakistan. But what is important to note is that there was plainly a material misrepresentation in the application that was placed before the court as to the position of the authorities of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan. Because in fact, Annex 9 to the very same application provided a draft transcript of a 3-page press brief to the Foreign Office. And the court will see at page 3 that in answer to a direct question from a journalist, the Foreign Office official spokesman made it very clear that pursuant to the bilateral agreement between India and Pakistan of 2008, which India is anxious to avoid any reference to, the question of access to Commander Jadhav would be decided on the merits. The court has been given an indication, moreover, that there was some request for evidence made by the Pakistani authorities, but all that the court was given was the cover letter in the annexures. Unfortunately, the court was not provided with the substantive material which was given to India on the 23rd of January 2017, but it has now. In the judge's folder at Annex 1, the court will see that the material comprised a cover letter which identified 13 names that Commander Jadhav had provided to the Pakistani authorities. The cover letter sought the assistance of the Indian authorities to the phone records of Commander Jadhav. It sought the assistance of the Indian authorities to bank account details. These are all perfectly reasonable, legitimate requests. The Indian authorities were provided with a copy of the first information request, the details of the allegation, Annex 1. Annex 2 was a copy of the passport. Now, interestingly, at no stage has India made any comment about the possession of a passport by an individual whose nationality as an Indian national has been assumed, we say de bene esse, but has not actually been established by the Indian authorities. The passport plainly requires explanation. There is the confession, which is in the bundle that was given to the Indian authorities, together with, significantly, the United Nations Security Council Resolution 1373, one of the most important Security Council resolutions ever promulgated in the aftermath of the horrors of the attack on September the 11th. India, no doubt, would have been fully familiar with the principles identified in that resolution, but incumbent upon all member states of the United Nations is the obligation to assist not only in preventing terrorism, but the provision of evidence. What happened? Deafening silence, no response. What's said in the application at page 24, paragraph 50, is that the confession of Commander Jadhav was obtained after India had sought access. Somewhat ironic, because as you have seen and as the written submissions that are before the court will make clear, the chronology is as follows. Commander Jadhav was arrested in the southern province of Pakistan, Balochistan, which is mineral rich and unfortunately has seen violence all too often. He crossed in from Iran, bearing that false passport. The position, so far as the video is concerned, is that that video was aired